Hey guys, welcome to this week's PA accountability meeting. Today we're going to talk about contractors.
Should I put my earmuffs on?
No, I actually want to ask you your opinion on a couple of things too. So this episode is going to be flipped around. You might end up being our special guest this week. Lars, did you call that electrician that I forwarded a contact to you, or is that out of his area? What happened there?
I'm 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 waiting to get his quote. He's been to it,
Hmm.
and I'm waiting to get his quote.
Okay.
I was texting him back and forth this morning actually.
Okay.
Yep. So that's that's where we're at. I've had some quotes from I think probably some bigger contractors and that kind of stuff that have been, you know, they've been high, but the really I guess the really thing that kind of threw me off about it is it was like pulling teeth
Give him a show up.
just to
Yeah.
have communication with them, right? Um, and I sit here and ask, well, if it's going to take me forever to just get a response out of you, right? Yay, nay, hey, I'm too busy, no, I'm not busy, hey, this, yeah, whatever. If it's going to take me that long to do that, you know, that makes me question a lot of other things about how things are run. And maybe
Hmm.
this just comes from working in corporate for too much. I don't know, but um, to me, the communication is the very basic things of business, right? It's you know, um, so and I question I question somebody, I question people that can't email or text. I understand you don't have time to talk on the phone. That's fine, right? But an email, a text, um, I shouldn't have to send you 5 emails to get a response, to get some sort of response, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I,
give you I'll give you an answer to that though. You don't want to pay more, but you want to have immediate responses and stuff. Well, in order to do that, I have to have a staff in the office, which costs a lot of money. If I'm a smaller crew doesn't have anybody in the office, I run my own, and I'm out running my crews and subs and whatever else. I don't have all day. I check my emails a couple times during the day and at night. And we don't always have the bandwidth to get back to that, especially when it's not a job that we're under contract on, where we have 5 other contracts that are actually under, and there's all kinds of things coming up, putting out fires. That's one of the biggest things. You get what you pay for. If you want responses, you need to pay more.
Yeah, well, even the people who have staff haven't really got back to me, Jim. I mean, eventually they did, right? Eventually they
Yeah.
did. They need to hire, I mean, um, an administrative assistant where I work handles that stuff, right? So I would expect the same thing out of other administrative assistants. Let's just say the ones that had ones, you know, didn't happen, and I think it wasn't until I called her the fourth time until she's like, oh, until she sent me the email, you know. And this is the company my cousin works at, of all places, too.
Yeah.
So, you know, uh, and and yeah. So I don't mind paying for quality, but I want to know that I'm paying for quality,
Yeah.
right? And that, you know, um, that's the thing, right? So um, yeah. So there you go. That's part of it. I don't mind paying for quality. I don't need to go with the cheapest bid. I want something done once, right? I don't want to, I will happily pay a 15% markup or whatever, more than normal to make sure the issue doesn't have to be touched again. Not a problem. Heck, it could be a 20%. Hey, we do it right the first time. Yeah, I don't mind paying for that, right? Like you know,
Yeah, and then
um,
look at it this way too. Cutting out all the plaster and all that stuff, they might want the job, but they're trying to think about it in their head. Am I more beneficial taking this job or one that's already down to stud that I can get in and out of a lot better at close to the same price? There's all kinds of caveats. And one thing
yeah,
you are correct about, they need to say it. Explain that to the customer. Hey, this is a lot more complicated job. I wouldn't mind doing it, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to get to this bid for you and so on and so forth. There's many times that I just tell people flat out, I can't get to it right now. Especially any kind of
Yeah.
remodels. Remodels are pushing out to the end of the year. But they do need to be more truthful, say yes or no, or hey, I can do this, but here's the caveats to it. And then you get a lot of things too, like I've been asking for specs on a gas light that we have to install for 2 months. I finally get it. We have our rough inspections on Monday. It's
Wow.
Friday, or Friday is 4th of July. You expect me to get this done by Monday for rough inspection when I just got the specs? Pretty difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely would be. Yeah. I don't I don't mean to try to make it sound dramatic or anything. It
No,
just to me
no,
it's
I
something to like
get where
communicate.
you're coming from. So I'm having the same damn problem. I've called
Yeah.
7 different people to try to relieve some of my time on the properties I'm doing right now. One
Yeah.
has called me back. Just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get your frustration. Absolutely.
Yeah. And if I was referred to somebody and they said, "Look, I am busy, blah blah blah. Realistically speaking, I'm not going to be able to get get to it till I'm not going to be able to get out there for another 2 weeks." Okay, you communicated that up front. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Put me on your schedule. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna see if I can find something to get out there quicker. And I will do the courtesy of calling you back if I do find something that gets me quicker and gets me something adequate. That's
Oh, and
fine.
that is so freaking huge. I love it when people actually do that
Right.
because I do
But
I do
if you
get
don't
I do
communicate,
get
I
to
can't
it.
do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Right.
No, everything I'm hearing about out of state, not just Pennsylvania, but anywhere, I'm like, dude, I'm doing most of my work. I'm flying my butt out there and I'm doing it. I don't have time to wait for people. I can't have a project take an extra 2 months. That's just cash out of my pocket, time out of my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's why everything's taking me so long to figure out what exactly I'm doing because I got to figure out the process of being able to stay there, get a truck, get tools, so on and so forth, get that whole thing figured out after my property's returned.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
I'm just. It's. I don't know if it's an area issue or if it's an industry issue or what, but it's definitely.
I think it's an
Um.
industry issue just because I know, was it like 5 years ago, they were saying that there's more people retiring out of the trades than are
oh,
going into
absolutely.
them.
Yep. Yeah, everybody above me is getting out. And
Yeah.
then I'm
Okay.
I'm kind of getting out on my own because I don't want to deal with people anymore. People suck. So I'd rather do my own thing and control my own destiny. But you're a very and the biggest thing is you're not getting young people into the trades to learn. So
Yeah.
you think it's bad now, wait 5 years. It's gonna get 10 times worse. And those prices are gonna skyrocket. And I've been trying to figure out is how these people that say they're flipping are doing it when they're subbing everything out. I don't understand where their numbers are coming from. Are they just getting that good of a deal off from a wholesale deal to where they can warrant it all? Because I'm not seeing the availability of contractors unless they're like Vincent, who has a team that he just keeps them fed and busy.
Yeah.
That's
Hey
my
Jim,
assumption.
I got a question for you. Speaking of flippers, so like, let's use someone like yourself, okay? And I don't know exactly what your background is, but like, how do you get to the point where you can do like the electrical work on like a flip on your own without having to like go to electrical school and stuff? Like, do you just have you done it for so long and then you just pull the
I've
permits
done
and you
it
just
for
have someone
I've
else come
done
in
it
and
for
inspect it?
yes, I've done it for so long. I've been in the industry for 37 years.
So you're kind of like grandfathered in, or you just learn how to
No,
deal with.
in California I can do technically supposed to do 3 trades under my general contractor's license. So
Mhm.
I can do any of those. But I'm supposed to do 3. But dude, that's changing out a receptacle. That's changing out an angle stop and doing one other thing, doing some drywall. There's my 3 trades. So in other jurisdictions, that's why I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh right now. I can work on my own at home and not have to worry about any of that. But if I go into the city of Pittsburgh, I have to do I have you're supposed to be electrical certified, HVAC and plumbing. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of different flippers in the area and getting how they're calling themselves a GC and stuff, doing their own electrical, and I know that they never went to electrical school.
Well, if they're flipping it themselves, it's their property.
Their properties are under an LLC, so it's not technically their
It's
property.
still, yeah. That part I don't know because most of the stuff I'm doing, I'm not doing as an LLC at this time.
Yeah.
So I don't have an answer for that. But honestly, most of us don't worry about it. We wait for somebody to say something about it because
Now
you're
I
so.
do know I do know that they have to have someone come in behind them and sign off on everything.
Well, now, are you talking about a contractor or are you talking about the inspectors?
The inspector signs off on the GC's work.
Yeah, but that's a county inspector or city inspector. That's not another company. A
Yeah.
certified plumber, a certified electrician.
I've been batting 1,000 this past week and a half with plumbing issues. I yeah, I had this is what I wanted to ask you about, Jim, also is so on my one rental property, the toilet will flush for number one, but not number two. And they ran a snake and it went, I think they said like between 30 and 40 feet and got stuck. They got the biggest snake in the shop. They worked their way up to it and it got stuck in the same spot. And they put a GPS unit in down into the drain and they found where it's being stuck at. So now I have to rip out the hedges. They try to use the I don't know the sewage pressure washer thing, whatever they call it, the hydro spinner. But that couldn't get through it. So now tomorrow I have to go over and cut all the bushes out so they can dig a hole to then rip that section of pipe out to see what's going on.
Yeah, you have root probably root penetration.
That's what I think it has to be. If they're telling me it's 35 to 40 feet and they're estimating it to be underneath the bush, I'm like, well, it has to be roots.
Yeah,
It has to be roots.
I'm assuming you're probably clay pipe too.
I forget who someone else has asked me this and I forget who it was, but it was right in that weird era. Most of the town is terracotta.
If it's
Like,
terracotta, you guarantee it's roots because terracotta goes right
yeah,
through the joint and it's a feeding frenzy for roots. Once they get in, you're done.
yeah, like I want to say 90% of the town is terracotta plumbing. And what is it? This house was built right when they were using either galvanized or terracotta. So I'm hoping it's terracotta because I think roots would be cheaper than dealing with a rusted galvanized line the last 30 feet.
Well, see, either way, I would be replacing the whole line. That's just me though,
Yeah.
because it's just going to continue happening. You're going to continue nickel and diamond for the next 10 years. And if I'm going to keep a property over 5 years, I'm fixing it to where I don't have to deal with it again. It's money saved for me. But then again, I do it. And that's the way I'm treating every property. I just don't want to deal with stuff. Same thing with routine maintenance. The properties I have now, they're in the hills. I got to go up there once a quarter, or have one of my guys go up there once a quarter and clean off the roofs. I'm not going to have all this major investment I've done into these three doors and have them go to crap in 6 months because we didn't take care of it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get at least that one section done and get it going. And I think what I'm going to do is probably next year, I'm just going to do the rest of it myself.
Yeah, just dig it out. I mean, running ABS is nothing.
Oh no, it's not
Yeah.
hard. It's just right now with everything that's going on, it you know, I'm just going to pay the company to do it, which I need to call them and ask them about the quote because I asked them for an itemized bid and they just gave me two things that are just almost duplicate to each other and said it's this amount of money. I was like, okay, well, this doesn't tell me anything. Like, it might as well say XYZ this much money, XYZ, this much the same thing. It's just like, are you double charging me, or what is this? Like this is completely useless.
So in your circumstance, I would put in a bid of I'm digging out the line, finding the line. I am cutting out the area that we believe the thing is, and then putting a camera down and find out which way, either to the house or to the street where the problem is. Then there would be additional costs at that because we don't know what to do until we find that out.
Yeah.
Because it could just be a matter right where that area is, pop in two cleanouts, one going towards the street, one going towards the house. You clear that blockage, you're done.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the roots too.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is the only reason why those bushes are still there when I bought the property, I forget, like 4 years ago, I think it is, was because Cynthia's like, oh, well, you need some brush and or the bushes because they're pretty and they're nice and they're going to help keep the house cool because they're tall. And I'm just like, no, it's like they're going to work their way into the sandstone foundation, and I don't know where the sewage lines are. 4 years later, everything I said has bit me in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about contractors not getting back to people. I do not want to answer this call. I will have to call him back because I don't have an answer for him yet. So what's everybody else doing around? I heard Mark's on his way to Japan.
Yeah, but we got Mikey now.
You got Mikey?
Yeah,
Oh, so
Mikey's
they
here
take,
and Mark's gone.
yeah, I was gonna say they take turns.
I actually, at first, when Mark announced it, was it last week or something? I actually thought Mark was with Mikey out in Japan, but I was wrong. Esther, how are things with you?
I'm good. I just came back last week. Was it last week? I went to Cleveland,
Oh, I thought you were going to say Japan.
to Ohio area.
Do you have, remind me, do you have rentals out there or,
No,
uh,
my friend has rentals in Toledo, so I just tag along with her.
okay.
So we went to Toledo. Me and my husband went to Cleveland and Akron also. Yeah, check out the area and talk to the realtor and yeah, just realtor actually. Um, the reference from Hamilton, Harrison, from Harrison. Yeah, got to meet in person with them. They're really nice people, and yeah, anybody wants to learn about Cleveland, I got it. Cleveland area.
What's the main drivers in that area? It's tech, right?
All kind of industries actually, but in city of Cleveland, the regulation is a bit harder actually, and especially for lead paint. But other than outside Cleveland, it's a lot easier for rentals.
Way better. What do you think?
Is the party bus thing gonna happen?
Yeah, yeah, I made some phone calls. I haven't finalized a quote quite yet, but the party bus is going to happen Saturday, and on Friday the I'm trying to see what a group rate would cost or how many people we need to get the group rate on the Gateway Clipper. That way we can see the city from the rivers. and then we can see it from like the Mount or like Mount Washington and do the party bus on Saturday. I'm still working on like a small venue to have like a few contractors come by on Friday to talk about like the common problems on that they see. I like to try and get a electrician. I was thinking like like a GC and different things like that. A roofer.
I'm
No,
I'm
no,
trying to
no.
I'm trying to think about the rental car. How long if I should just have it as a backup for that weekend too, just in case, or just have it for the week and then I could go party busing with you all during the weekend,
Well, the party bus would just be Saturday,
not Sunday.
not Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I found the Airbnb in Bloomfield.
Okay,
That was, I think, 764 total.
for the whole week.
Yeah. I tried, oh, the hotels are expensive out there. I tried looking at hotels. The hotels were like 2,500. Then I started looking at Airbnb and VRBO. And there's this one Airbnb, it's like an 1890s mansion. I think she has 3 units there. So I just picked one of the units of that three. And the price wasn't too bad. I didn't mind the price.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, people were asking me what hotel to stay at, and the thing is, I didn't really know what to recommend because it's like there's a couple that will come pick you up at the, there's a couple that will go and pick you up at the airport and bring you back, and then you get breakfast. So that, those are pluses too. The one I was thinking is it has a shuttle service that would drop you off in certain areas, and some of them are kind of areas that we're going to be in, but I don't know if the cost of all the extra is really worth it.
Yeah.
That's why I really haven't been wanting to recommend a hotel just because like I don't know which one to really recommend.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
trying to even look at the Hyatt because with the Chase, you got the points with that.
yeah.
But even the points didn't really make sense. So I just figured, I'll just go Airbnb.
Yeah, Lindsay, there's quite a few Airbnbs out here. It's just the city's cracking down on them because there was two incidences in the past couple years where people got hurt. One was that there was a party that was serving alcohol to minors and stuff, and one of them started shooting a handgun in the place and hit someone up above them. So obviously that's a no-no. And what was the other one? Oh, the other one was another party that went wild, and there's too many people on the porch, and the porch wasn't secured to the house correctly, and came collapsing down. And I forget how many. No one was in, or no one got killed in that one, but a lot. I think they sent. I think it was like 15 people went to the hospital. Lindsay, how do you handle contractors from afar?
I tried to be nice.
That usually works.
No, but in my market too, I agree with everybody else. Nobody answers like text messages or emails. I do have to get them on the phone. And I'll be the annoying person that calls you twice and then call you again at noon. And then I'll leave you a voicemail, tell you I'll call you back in an hour, and then I'll call you back again. Just because I know that the referrals that I have, the contractors are, they do fairly estimate, but because they are like in Gary, they're being shared by many investors. They are all the time busy. So I'm not trying to like be harsh, but yeah, it takes a long time for me to get responses too.
Do you still do the three quotes, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, I still do the three quotes. I still pitch them, yeah. But the Burr method, it's been definitely more challenging because of that. The contractors, um, trying to reach out to them or having them send me pictures or videos. But it's a work in process. I'm more patient than most people. I think really it takes a long time for me to be upset.
I just can't imagine you being angry.
It
You
happens.
just calm, chill, laid back.
It comes with the with my career. I used to be a nurse, so you have to be calm, chill, in any kind of chaotic scenario. So
Well, Cynthia's a nurse too, but and she's also in management now. But it doesn't mean that outside of there that her Italian doesn't come out and wants to be like bitty 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 slappy slappy slappy.
then I guess it's my personality. But yeah, I'm working on another. I saw another deal in my market, and it's really hard for me to not to step away from it. But it also needs a lot of rehab, so I don't know if I want to dive into
Hmm.
it. Life also makes me broke, of course, right? So
I just heard somewhere the other day. I forget who it was, but they said the poorest people you'll meet are, was it drug addicts, business owners, and real estate investors.
yeah, I'm right there with them.
But at least we're all buying assets, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to pitch seller finance to everybody, so I'm like, don't have any money right now, but in 6 months maybe I will.
I'm not like I've always wanted to do a seller finance thing, and I pitched it a couple times, but it just I don't know. To me, it kind of feels awkward pitching it, being especially some of these cheaper properties. Okay, like I last time I pitched it was on a house that was like $50,000. The landlord was retiring; they just wanted out of it. And my pitch was, I'll give you, it was worth more than $50,000. I think it would have priced for like closer to like 75 at the time. And I told him, I was like, I'll pay you 50% up front and pay you a total of $60,000 if you hold the note on the rest of it at like, I forget what interest rate I said at the time. I think rates were like 2.5%, so I said five. And obviously it didn't go anywhere.
Mhm.
You think seller financing is gonna happen at all this year? Because man, yeah, this one property I keep trying to push at. I didn't realize the seller has $1 billion portfolio, and they still won't seller finance.
I think it depends on what market you're in. Like, I think if you're hurting and you need to just get out of the property, it might be a bigger thing. So
Right.
like
Where's the
I
pain?
yeah, like I don't think we're gonna see it so much here in Pittsburgh or Gary, Indiana, or most of the well, you know what? I bet you Ohio might from what you've been talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ohio is gonna be interesting. That's true, but they're definitely gonna take losses on it. So yeah, that's interesting. This is Pittsburgh or Butler, so this is that one
Yeah.
property. Yeah,
But you want to hear some good news in the area?
sure.
West Virginia prices are officially up.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So I think they're now third from last. I think I know Alabama's one of the states that beat them as far as worst prices. I forget what the other one was. I want to say Mississippi, and I don't think that's right. Steve, how you been? What are you working on?
Hey, good evening, folks. Um, I'm just searching for deals in my backyard here in Jacksonville, Florida, and kind of branching out. Met up with some, introduced myself to some buyers agents in Huntsville, so I'm kind of going down that rabbit hole to see if anything pencils a little better up there.
Yeah.
Um, but otherwise, yeah, I'm just kind of just trying to learn through osmosis and had a plumbing issue at my rental property in Reno this week. Luckily, it was a $300 fix and not what you're dealing with. So sorry about that. But
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I mean, obviously it sucks, but like Jim was saying, it's like I'm half tempted just to rip up the whole thing. But it's just with the way the hillside and everything else is, I don't know if I actually have the funding to do a giant massive thing, and if I'm better off just to just to get it going this year, and next year budget to have the rest of it ripped out.
Hey, Jack, what are you looking at in
Yeah.
terms of cost of doing that?
The one plumber gave me a quote of 6K just to fix they quoted me for a 10-foot section.
If
So
you
because
excavated it yourself and had them plumb it, how much would it be?
well, that's the thing, I can't get an excavator. The hill's too steep, so the whole thing has to be hand dug.
Can you get a track, why can't I think of it? You can get like a trencher, a track trencher back there.
No, no,
So
because
you can,
like the hill in front of the house is see, I'm looking at the top, so I would estimate probably about 10 feet high.
Mhm.
So I would say it's probably for every 1 foot back, about a 3 foot raise.
Okay, so like a 10-3 slope, basically.
Yeah, and it does that and levels, and then it goes to like a normal slope of like, I don't know, probably 1 foot by 1 foot raise. But the whole thing's just going to have to be hand dug
So is this the sewer line like going downhill or uphill? I'm trying to understand the
downhill.
dynamics. Okay, so from the house down the hill,
Yeah,
so you'd have to be. Um, that's probably why it's so expensive. Is either
yeah,
get
that's
equipment in there big enough to reach it, or to have labor crews to dig it up.
yeah, that's kind of why, honestly, I'm kind of thinking to myself if I might just, obviously I'm gonna have to tear out the bushes. There's no getting around that part. But I'm half tempted to just pick at it a little bit every morning because they said it's only 4 feet deep. I'm thinking to myself, 4 feet deep. Once I find the line, I can follow it out and cut that section out and just do it myself.
Well, if you're having root intrusion on it, which if it's 4 feet deep and you got root intrusion, that's impressive. For roots, especially shrubs and trees, to get that deep. And now, is that a clay? Was it a clay pipe or galvanized?
I'm assuming it's clay because the whole town is terracotta.
It's probably why you're getting so much root intrusion into it, because its roots can go through clay so easily.
Yeah.
Um, Here's a scenario for you. Would you rather be doing this in December?
No.
That's a potential. You do realize that.
Yeah.
Do you think your cost is going to be the same in December?
No. No. It definitely wouldn't be.
It's probably going to be double or triple. Can you afford that?
Uh, Probably not.
So I'm saying, like, this might be something that's really time sensitive to take advantage while the weather is really good right now,
Yeah.
versus to push it off because the budget's not there. I understand the budget, like, but here's the scenario for you. Your budget's got to be nothing in comparison to what it's going to be come December. Like that's
Yeah.
going to blow a hole in everything you have, and you have to replace it. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're just looking at a 10-foot section, I mean, the easiest way to approach that is just focus on that 10-foot section yourself and try to get it excavated. Because I mean, if you're having that much root intrusion, you're going to be fighting roots digging it yourself no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be out there with a Plasky, a blade shovel, and a trenching shovel, and just going to town, and a breaker bar, and just getting that thing as fast as you can, and as easy as you can as possible. And I would be there early as in the morning as possible. That way the heat's not going to kill you. And then see what it takes to get down to that. And then from there, if that 10-foot section seems to be like not too bad to get into, then I would probably evaluate maybe doing the rest of it. But because when you're doing pipe and sewer line, like if your break is, say, in the middle of that 10-foot section, so there's 5 feet, you're going to have, in order to get a pipe down there and to flex it enough to be able to mesh it into clay to PVC, you're going to have fittings that are going to be able to couple that together. And that alone is going to be a difficult challenge of itself. So you're going to have to cut back far enough, at least another 8 feet from your splicing point, to give yourself enough room to be able to put that coupling in, because you're going to have to be able to flex line, or depending on the clay line, you're going to have to be able to see what you can do to be able to bind those two together. And if you can't blend those two materials together, then you're stuck with actually replacing the whole thing. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've never heard of combining PVC to clay. I've seen PVC to galvanize, because there's rubber fittings. They're called compression couplers.
Yeah.
You slide one way, you slide it back another way, and then you basically tighten them down. And then you can
They
do
do
that.
have clay to ABS.
Do they,
They
James?
have
Okay.
clay to ABS fittings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably sure I've seen them. I imagine what they look like. But I would just start looking
Yeah,
at
they're
what
basically
those are.
it's a fern coat with the band straps like you're talking about, and that's all
Yep.
it is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They just go bigger. So
Yep.
that's all it is.
Well, I got to
So,
bail because I don't know if you can see.
I see some
I got
of
a
it.
crap ton of electrical and plumbing to do. So I'll see you guys next week.
Alrighty,
All right.
Jim, don't work too hard, buddy.
Okay, later.
See you, Jim. Take it easy in the heat.
So I mean that's my opinion on that. I'm just trying to save you a giant headache later.
Yeah.
I've dug up a lot of pipe. A lot of pipe.
I'm
I
just
worked
wondering
at a
if I can
golf course.
I'm just wondering if I can section it out, like get it going for right now, and then like every week just try to chip out like another like 10-foot section. Because at that rate, it would only take me about 4 weeks, but I'm not shutting down the whole building the entire time. It'd only be for like a day.
Yeah. Usually, so like you get those sections of pipe, 4-inch. You're looking at 4-inch drain line, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get them in 20 foot, 8 foot. I think 16. I would just go with the length that you can do that's affordable, and then I would just start digging first and see how it goes. And when you get down to it, then you can kind of make a better decision or assessment on like if it's going to
Yeah.
be worth to piecemeal out, because it might not be as entirely that bad. Especially like there might be the section along the house where you have like the shrubs and stuff. That's probably going to be like the hardest part. But it's hard to tell. Like ground is it's so hit and miss. Like you
Yeah.
can be digging in an area that's really good soil, and it's like, oh man, this is easy, and you get down to 4 feet in like 30 minutes, and then you move like a foot and a half down the line, and then all of a sudden all you hit is just rock. It's river rock and clay and hard pan, and then you're out there with a breaker bar and a plastic and a you know you know another hand tool that's a pick. You're out there running a pick and you're just beating at the ground as hard as you can, and you're barely getting anywhere for the next 3 hours. But I would just dig it up and see what it takes from there, because at the worst, you're going to save yourself a ton of time in terms of labor if you have the time available. And if you can do it yourself, you're going to save yourself a lot of money in terms of what you're concerned about in your budget. From there, if you get it all exposed and you have a plumber come into it, and they'll be in and out of there in no time, and you can backfill afterwards.
Yeah, and honestly, that's another thought I've had too. Is just what if I dig up the whole thing and have them do the all the connections?
I would do that. It's way easier. You don't have to monkey with it. If you get it
Mhm.
exposed, you're probably going to knock off 2/3 of the price easily. Labor
Yeah,
alone is probably going to be your biggest expense and all that. And a lot of the companies are going to want to come in there, even if they get a mini excavator somehow to be able to dig like halfway there. It that's usually $400 or $500 rental fee a day. Or if they own it themselves, they're probably going to charge you somewhere probably in the range. Well, I don't know what your guys' ranges are, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're looking at $100 to $200 per hour in terms of operational costs in those. So they'll
I'm
probably quote you out for probably 6, 8 hours of use. So, you're looking at, a couple $1,000s in just that.
yeah.
But I would yeah, if you get exposed and you hire them to come in and do the installation of it, man, they'll be in and out of there. Like, for them to plumb that in, probably take them hour and a half, maybe two. Your biggest hurdle is them connecting. If they're connecting it to the main sewer line at the street or wherever it's at, you know, that might be take them quite a bit. But running running the pipe and putting because they're going to have to put pea gravel down to lay the pipe in,
Mm.
and then set it, and then from there they're just going to run it up to the house and install it. And if they need some elbows or whatever to basically navigate the terrain, it's parts from there, and they'll know what to get. It'll go way faster for you. I would do it that way.
Yeah, because I honestly like knowing the ground, and I'm glad that last year I didn't put the retaining wall in. It's just I got put in so many other projects. I didn't put the retaining wall in because it needs to have a three-tier retaining wall on our property, and I think the sewer line is going to go right through right where I was going to put the retaining wall in. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do that project now.
Yeah, you're going to thank yourself a lot for that. Had you done that, you probably would have. They probably would have been running into the sewer line, and it might have been something they would have probably spoke to you about, like, "Hey, we got this exposed. We're here with equipment. You want us to just dig it up now?"
Yeah,
But that's my opinion, man. I'm just thinking, like, if you're already having issues with it, and this is the best time of the year to like get that exposed and get it repaired. Come, when it's like January, or which is usually what, about January, February is usually your coldest months, right?
yeah. It starts late December, January, February, and usually the beginning of March.
Now, and then being able to break ground and do all that stuff, your cost is going to go up exceptionally high for them to work
Yeah,
on in
and
those months.
it's not so much it snows as much here anymore. It's just that
It's
the
the
ground freezes and
Yep,
it's so hard to bust through it.
yep. When your frost lines, below, I imagine your guys' frost line somewhere around 32 to 36 inches. So yeah, when it's that deep, you get really cold. I lived in southern Minneapolis, so I know what it's like.
I've been watching a look or a I don't know what you call him. I guess a YouTuber camper type of person. He's out of Minneapolis or Minnesota, and I'm so jealous of all the ice fishing he gets to do.
Hey, I gotta grab a phone call real quick here, Jack.
All right, we'll see you in a few. What is everyone else up to? Lars, do you have Greg's phone number?
Yeah, I do. I talked to him. He thought maybe I wouldn't need the light, and he actually kind of thought maybe the lights, the overhead light in those two rooms.
Hmm.
Um, he thought maybe just, and I don't, and it's got me thinking. It did get me thinking. Although I was already engaged with the other guy that you sent me to as well. Um, and so I'm kind of waiting to see what the cost is going to be. But he thought maybe just going with, given that I already have central, I think it's already central heating, like maybe swap out for central heating AC. Um, yeah, that would, if I was going to spend, that much money, uh, because he thought maybe I could get more for rent and renters would stay there longer if I did that. Do you agree?
I don't know necessarily if you'll get more, but it'll make it way more desirable to get someone in there. Kind of along the same lines as someone that was on Zuber's channel earlier this week that was talking about having everything trying to I mean it wasn't Zuber's channel, but someone was talking about how they try to market to the younger generations and just
Yeah,
that where the older generations are used to like not having AC and all that kind of stuff. There's so many, you're almost cutting the people that be interested in half almost because a lot of the younger generations, like they see it has no AC, they're like, okay, we're done.
yeah. Okay.
So
It is.
I guess like what I'm saying is, you'll make it desirable enough, and you should be able to cut your vacancy rate in half.
Okay. And I think, and kind of what I came to the conclusion is I was going to see how much what this guy was going to come in for, maybe talk to him a little bit,
Yeah.
and if anything, maybe just have, I just I'm waiting for him to get back to me, talk to him. I almost gave up, but he texted me back, um, and so if I talk to him today or tomorrow or whatever, I'm just going to see. I don't know. I'm going to evaluate the price, but Greg did get me thinking a little bit with that. Because maybe I will just maybe the unit is fine inside as is without maybe I just need to switch the overhead lights to something more modern, right?
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of what I'm thinking of. At least the downstairs, switch the downstairs lights to something more modern. Um, get a switch in the unit that doesn't have the overhead lighting right when you walk in to where you just to where the light where the switch is right there to where they just turn on the light right there so I have to walk into the unit and turn on the light.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of overhead lighting because I think it makes more pop. It makes it more. It takes away any sort of mental. This is an old. It gets rid of the. This is an old building, even though it is an old.
Yeah.
Right? When you have overhead and all and stuff. Um, I don't know. Don't you agree? I mean, that's just my. That's kind of the reason why I'm thinking of overhead lighting each room. And yeah, it's going to cost some money. Overhead lighting downstairs. In the room downstairs. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. I know like when I walk into places, and this has kind of been the determining factor for me is like when I walk into places and I turn on the light and it doesn't have overhead lights and it's wired into an electrical outlet, I instantly know it's from like the mid 80s or older
yeah.
to be kind of wired that way.
Yeah, so I was thinking if I have overhead lighting,
in those rooms. So each room has overhead lights downstairs. Upstairs, I don't think about it, right? In your bedroom, I
No,
don't think it
I
matters too
wouldn't
much.
I wouldn't waste any time upstairs.
Yeah. Um, have that. Maybe I will switch out the AC, right? And that should make it a very desirable place to rent. And it, with the backsplash and new paint job, because damn, that paint job sucked. Um, like when I can see the paint job sucks from, from pictures on a phone, the paint job's bad. You know,
Yeah, I was using my cam or my older DSLR camera on that, and I was like, I was looking at the walls. I was purposely setting it to try and show you because I forgot to mention it. But it's like I was trying to at least take it so that it was more obvious.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's just those things. I think they're simple. I'm not loving how much it's going to cost to do those things, but I think once those things are done, you know, at the end of the day, I did get the unit pretty cheap.
Hmm.
So, once those things are done, then I think I can feel confident to put it on the market for 1,100 each, 1,200 each side.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately, ultimately, if I get 1,200 each side, they'll more than pay for it. I mean, the appraisal had 13 and 15, so who knows? Maybe put on the market. Although with rents being soft, although with stuff being soft right now, maybe I can't put on the market for 13, 1,500.
Yeah,
So,
I think honestly, with the way things are right now,
mhm.
I would honestly maybe try to do like the 1150 or 1200, and that
Yeah,
way, if you have to lower a little bit, it's not the end of the world, but it's still more than what you need.
yeah, yeah. Make those. Yeah, get the overhead lighting. Maybe or maybe not put an AC. Maybe I will put an AC. Right? I don't know.
But the AC too, I can't remember. Is there an AC already there?
It's window units.
That's right. I do remember that now.
Yeah. So if I put in central AC here with the window units, it'll automatically look better.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I figure once I get the overhead lighting taken care of, I can't imagine it being too hard to get somebody to get out there and put in a central AC unit, right? Because the ductwork's already there. So all they're doing is taking out the heater, putting the heater slash AC unit or whatever, or just adding the AC unit, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I got a couple different HVAC people I can shoot you their contact. They're that they have slightly bigger crews, but they still fly under the radar. So like if you go ahead and get the quote, typically within a week or two they can come out and do the whole thing.
There we go. And see,
And,
and something like that, I can go ahead and maybe get the property manager, put it on the market, and then when he's showing it, he can just say they're actually putting in central AC. Uh, the HVAC guys are going to get out here next week and put it. And I think renters, like when they hear that, and like, oh, so what I mean? It's like it's a mental thing. Say, oh, somebody actually gives a crap.
yeah,
And
it's just not another number.
mhm. Yeah. And in many ways, I think it can make it rent quicker, right? When they hear, oh, somebody's putting in a new AC, it'll be in next week. We'll see.
What's going on, Mikey? I see your little screen keeps lighting up. Well,
Hey, Jack, real quick. What was
yeah.
What's Lars working on?
Oh,
I caught the tail end of it.
he's working on electrical, getting overhead lights put in, and he's talking about putting in a HVAC system.
Is there an existing one there?
No,
Mm. That would be
There's
nice.
central heating.
You have a forced air system already, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you already have the ducting for the forced air system.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking of doing it. Yeah.
Well, here's the question for you. Is it just electrical unit or does it have AC as well?
It does not. It does not have AC right now.
Oh, all right. So with that
Yeah.
being said, I'm just gonna put aside a caution here because I actually have to do the same thing. The one thing I know about when you have existing forced air system in there, the biggest thing is when you add AC, is you're going to have a cold air return somehow. So that could really up your cost in doing that because depending on where the unit is placed in the house, it might require for them to add, they have to cut a hole in the roof or whatever and in the ceiling to mount your cold air return and also provide ducting to that. So that could be another $3,000 to $4,000 cost additionally, just for that. But it may not be. It may not be. Depending on where the unit sits, they might be able to have it run to where it just because where is it in like a is the unit in the garage? Is it down in the basement? Is it in the living space?
Jack, isn't it outside?
The furnace?
no, the
Oh, I
furnace
guess.
is downstairs, but it's close. They're both close to they're both close to the back wall.
So they might be able to penetrate the back wall if depending on where it's at. They might be able to penetrate there and have the cold air return from the outside there. But you still got to run ducting into the house somewhere to where they can mount the fresh air unit into the house because when you have to have like a circular return. If you look at a house, if it's all enclosed and sealed up, when you're putting air into a house, you got to have it the ability to escape as well. So otherwise, you're just putting a bunch of pressure in the house. If you understand the principle behind that, so depending on where it's at, it might not be that big of a challenge. But I would just have a company come out there and take a look at it and have you give you a quote.
I mean, that's what I was planning on, right? Just get a quote and figure it out from there. So.
I got to do that myself. So that's actually on my list to do this next week. Is I got to contact a couple of the HVAC places in my area and have them come and take a look at because I need to replace the furnace, but I would like for them to be able to hopefully mount a cooling unit in as well, and then they had to add the compressor outside, and then go from there. So my unit sits in the unfinished basement, so I'm hoping that I might be able to just have them put a screen into the floor, and then just have the fresh air return, and then have it vent out the side of the house. So we'll see. If I beat your quote to it, I'll let you know what I'm looking at in terms of cost. I think our areas are probably similar in cost, relatively, plus or minus, probably maybe $300 or $400, maybe.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Lars, it's a far way out, but if you ever wanted me to stop by there in the first week of September, I can, if you want videos or pictures or anything.
Thanks, Mikey. Yeah, thank you. I'll kind of see where I'm at that point.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Let me know.
Okay.
Jessica, I hope I said your name right. How are you today?
Hello?
How's it going?
Good? Hold on. Let me. Uh, Hi.
So
Can you?
what are you working on?
So, I have some in northern New Jersey. I don't know if you guys remember. Some of the people I think were on different calls. Some looking for options in Pennsylvania. I live myself in New Jersey right now.
Okay.
What's up,
I
Jason?
have a two. I have a two family and three family. Um,
Is
but
it Jason or
JSIC,
JC?
JSIC.
JC.
Mm-hmm. So I saw your guys' community aura and all that stuff. Been following Bigger Pockets for many years. But I guess with family and kids, everything took a break, and then I'm trying to get back into it. But
Cool.
New Jersey market's pretty steep right now.
Yeah, there was a person I met at the Vegas event. What was his name? I keep wanting to call him Charles, and I don't think that was his name. But
From Jersey?
yeah, he's in Jersey. He was saying the same thing.
Yeah, that's it. It seems that especially, I mean, South Jersey's a little different. I think we're more comparable to, I guess, Eastern Pennsylvania, so like
Okay.
Poconos, Philly areas.
Yeah.
When it comes to prices and taxes. What kills me in my area, specifically my county, since we're right outside of New York City, the taxes are the killer.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hey, Jack.
So
J6 contractor.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I own the glass company.
Oh, I remember when I edited these a little bit. I remember listening to you now. But yeah, you've always been on when Harrison was hosting.
Yes, yeah. So I've been third. This will be third or fourth one on
Okay.
on it. I saw your videos. Um, so that's why like the face and all that stuff. But I know a couple other people have already been on this meeting, and then like yesterday, the Wednesday night, I
Yeah,
guess.
with Frank.
Frank's.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Frank's the best.
Yeah, uh, I guess like a father figure to many. I guess.
It's
So
a good
when you
way of putting
say,
it.
sorry, go ahead, Troy.
I said that's a good way of putting it.
Mm.
With Frank being like a father figure to many.
Yeah, that's I never met him in person, but like on the video, right? Like you can feel it, right? Like he actually cares. I don't know. You guys been probably around the block, right? So you can tell if people are honest or not, even through
Oh
the
yeah,
video, who's faking
definitely,
or who's not. And
definitely.
he's definitely not.
So the funny thing is he was supposed to be at the Vegas event, and unfortunately, is it what's his wife's name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia. Yeah, she got ill, so he couldn't make it. And it's funny because, like, when we all talk to each other through the Zoom calls, you don't really like know how tall people are or how short people are. So, like Mark on the other hand, super short, doesn't look that way when you're looking at him through a phone or a computer. But then, like, Harrison, you meet Harrison, and I was like, wow, Harrison's like really tall as well. And I guess Frank, on the other hand, Frank's actually a really big guy, but you can't really tell when you see him through the screen and
But
stuff like that. But yeah.
on the video.
I felt so short out there. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm like 5'10". I'm just average height, and like everyone was just towering over me.
Hey, take a D on the thing on the stand on your wallet. No, but I'm definitely I know you have Jack, right? You planning something in September?
Yeah, September 5th through the 7th. We're gonna meet up. I'm still trying to iron out the full itinerary, but I'm trying to get a hold, or I shouldn't say get a hold. I've been talking to them. I'm trying to see how many people we can need in order to get the group rate for the Gateway Clipper, and they'll take us out on the boat on the river, give us like the tour of the city from what it looks like on the river, and then I'm trying to find like a small place that's close by. Well, I shouldn't say fine. I'm trying to get the okay to get a place that's close by and have some contractors come and talk to us, talk about the local problems that they don't always see, and that'll probably about it for that night. And I don't know if that night is a night I want to take you guys up on Mount Washington, look down at the city, or if I want to say that for Saturday night. But Saturday we're going to do like a little party bus, drive through about half the city, and go through neighborhood by neighborhood, going over each of them. And that's why I was thinking about doing the Mount Washington on Saturday because we could just have the party bus drop us off on Mount Washington.
Okay.
And then
When do you need answer like on the people coming or not?
I'm hoping to have to get everyone basically answered by like the second or like third week of August.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to reach to you. So like uh real estate family with two very active boys.
Yeah,
I have the glass company. I'm also in the service. So uh and for business I travel a lot too. I would love to make it. I don't want to make a commitment if not knowing it,
yeah,
especially recently with everything going on in the military. I've been called a lot. Um but like if yeah, by August if I can, yeah, I will definitely be for it.
yeah.
And
And the
then
other thing is too, like the bus and
mhm.
stuff. I'm gonna buy or try not buy. I'm gonna rent the like hopefully the next size up from what we actually need, and that way it won't be too hard if a few people show up last minute. Just
Okay. No, because I was going to reach you about it, but I was like with everything else, and I'm actually supposed to be in Europe right now with my kids. I had to go for military, so I'm flying out on Tuesday for 3 weeks, coming back. Then I gotta fly back, pick up my kids. So it's like uh a lot, and I when I commit to something, I'm 110%. But with not knowing, it's kind of hard to commit. But
yeah.
I'll definitely take you out on that. And for the place, so not very familiar with Pittsburgh, but I know a bunch of military people that are from there that I serve. So like if you're looking for like place like American Legions, VFW or something, I can reach out to the people like for the spot
Oh,
to hang out,
yeah.
right? Because I don't know if you ever thought about it, but they I mean they have rental halls. A lot of times when you have someone, you can bring a group of people. You don't have to rent it out. They will close off the area for you.
Okay.
So I don't. You ever been to VFW or like American Legion or no?
I've been the one and not the other, but I don't know which one I was at.
Okay. So yeah, usually they most of them have a bar.
Yeah.
Some of them have like a small kitchen in it, but like usually pool table something. Like a local bar. I would from most places in the U.S. I've been to, but they have like a either separate room or like a side room that you can use it. So like the place, if you're looking for it, if you want me to ask some people about it, they know someone.
Yeah.
Um, I can ask around it too if you don't look for the place.
Okay.
Maybe we can if I can help out on that side. I mean, place where you guys like everybody. If I show up, we can hang out in a one place.
Yeah.
You know. And how long you been investing?
I started back in what was it? Like 18, 19, something like that.
Okay. And then multi single family? Because I don't
I
remember.
I usually do multis. I'm not against single if it's for the right price. It just hasn't really ever really worked out. I mean, they do work in this area. It's just I see them, I put a bid in, someone it gets sold to someone else.
Okay. Do you have a lot of problems in your area with the cash bidders?
Not really. I lost the property I was talking about earlier to a cash buyer. Yeah, it's just it was a real cheap property, so it's hard to compete with a cash buyer.
Okay. Yeah, because it's again my area. You know, prices for something decent to multifamily. You're talking about movable with little repairs. You're talking about 600s.
Oh wow.
But the taxes you're talking about 12,000 and up. That's the killer,
Yeah.
right? Because that's nothing you can do. Yeah, but we have a lot of cash buyers from overseas where they park the money because
Okay.
appreciation in our area.
Yeah.
So they buy it and it sits empty. But you know what I mean? They parking their cash, which I guess I mean if you pay cash with appreciation, right? Like I have a property that within the last one, 2007, 18, so in 7 years, more than double. Right? And
Hmm.
we're talking about close to 500,000 purchase price. So
Wow.
you even with taxes, I mean, you're making money if you park it. But yeah, don't have that cash, that kind of cash.
How's like the regulations and stuff out your way? I mean,
So I don't know how Pittsburgh is, but from what I've seen Northeast, it's very similar. Um, it's pretty strict, but it's also who you know and how well you know him.
mhm.
That's what from my understanding. And I lived down south too because of military before and different states. So and each state's its own, but here it seems like if you come out with money and you want to try to, let's say you buy a duplex and you want to add another duplex because the property size is okay. If you don't know nobody, it's not going to happen. Somebody that has money and know people, they can probably put a eightplex on it, right? I think it's crazy how it works. So it's more each town who you know and how well you know him. You know what I mean? A lot of old school Italian, Irish kind of people. So it's not everything's in the open, I would say. Because
Yeah.
I lost 2 years ago. I was going to buy a commercial property for my business, and if legal way, I will get it. Um, but I didn't want to go through it. It was not worth it. The guy had a lot more pool in my town or in the town that I was purchasing than I did. So I mean, you got to pick your fights. Some of them are not worth it.
Anything else that you guys want to talk about today? Everyone's kind of dropping
It's
off.
Yeah, I think is the Lindsay the one from California, queen of whatever that is, where Mike invest.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
her.
I am
Yeah.
in Gary. I'm not the
Gary,
queen
queen,
though.
queen of Gary.
I don't know. I don't like that, but it's okay.
Why not? Why not?
I think there's many investors in Gary, so
I seen it from watching. So I've been watching a lot of I watch your channel, I watch Jack's channel, Leon's and all that stuff.
hmm.
Um, in the last, guess I've been driving and commuting a lot in the last 2 months, and I watch
Hmm.
everything at 2x speed. So
Right.
I watch. I already watch all the Leon's videos, all the half of Mark's the firefighter, half of
Uh-huh.
his videos, and all Aura videos. So I've seen a lot of interviews with you, but like it seems everybody. I guess it's a niche. You guys pick it, and I totally understand it from your videos too. Like especially you, Lindsay, when you said it, like how you get started, and when people ask you that question, I think it's like I I thought about like if somebody asked me, so how do you start it? I'm like, you just pull the trigger and you do it, right? There's no clear path to it. I guess you have to figure it out. And I think that the people that are successful, they're not afraid to fail. And I was watching your guys' videos, I can really tell that. Even though it's Gary, which I don't know much about it, but everybody makes fun of it.
Yeah,
But
everybody keeps making fun of it. I'm still doing my deals.
yeah, if you're making money, I have a friend here, so in New Jersey, um, so something that Hampton in California
Mm-hmm.
will be pretty rough, right? So we have Camden in New Jersey, but we also have Patterson, which
Mm-hmm.
is really, really really bad, really tough, right? I would not rely. I would not. Most streets, I would not recommend people just even try to drive through
Mm-hmm.
them, right? But I had a friend that changed his investment, and we're talking about when I started in 2011, 2012. So imagine all the houses, I mean, 500,000 and up in the area, nice towns. He was capable purchasing houses cash for $50,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, again, he owned construction companies, so the labor was pretty much free. So whenever his guys didn't have a job, they work on his properties. Everything was at a cost. But he built, I want to say 200 something houses portfolio in one city limit. And
Mm-hmm.
now all those houses are I mean, same prices, but again, 15 plus 15 years, right? Like more than 15, I think, or almost 15.
Right.
So it's and from what I listened about you and when Mike did the videos and a couple of other people, like the money coming for the airport and people virtual work and all stuff, I wouldn't surprise if maybe not all of the Gary, but bigger part of it will become the same thing if the investments push it, right?
If anybody's been to Chicago, they know how big of the city is and how on top of each other they are. You know, it's such a walkable city, but I live like 30 miles away from LA downtown, which is what Gary is, 30 miles away from like Chicago downtown. So I commute for work every day. So I think the same thing, like the possibility is there for that to become like a great market, but the most appeal for me is the burrs, right? Like the making, recycling the same money. Like so far, being in that city for the last 2 years, I just learned so much more by staying there that I think I just pulled like my best deal whatsoever. Like I bought a property for like 32,000. I put 26 into it. So total 58,000 and it just appraised for 160,000.
Is that you did the video on that one?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm still going through the process of cashing
There's
out, so
two.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Is it that's the one with the HELOC on it or
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Okay. So I think I heard you talking about it. Yeah, but yeah, I get it. If you stick around, then you're gonna learn a lot more from, and especially with the people. I think
Yeah.
for me the biggest thing, and I'm not afraid investing because I had investments out of the States before, and I guess being a military person, right, we moved so much. And I again going back to it, I wish I kept it. Um, but you got to decide what you want to deal with it, right? And then yeah, a lot of going on in the personal life. So for me, the earlier you start and you park your money and stuff like that, like you said, you're just recycling cash that you're making in there, so you're not adding anything new.
Right.
Down the road, the payout is huge. And I tell them my initial house that I purchased 14, 15 years ago, if and I had the rental because it's a two family, not considering the cash flow, right? The value in it, like me renovating and then just pure, I mean, inflation in my area, cashing it out for somebody that migrated from another country. If I sell that, move back to the whole country, you set for life, right? But like again, it's
Mhm.
hard to wrap your head around it. But again, you have to decide what's best for you. And like for me at that time, um, staying sane and close to the family because I was never close to my kids because I was always traveling for military. because I used to be active duty before.
Mhm.
That's the part. But again, if you're in multiple markets, which I know from another group, like people say, yeah, I have a house in Arizona, I have a house in Carolinas or Florida, and I'm like, how like I get it if you have property management, but how much longer it takes you to learn the market, and do you really learn the market and build your team there, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Versus like you, Lindsay, where you in the one place, um, how much like I would say is like, what's going to be possible for you from 2 years from now or 3 years from now at that market,
Yeah.
right? Compared to somebody that's multiple. So like my thing is like, I really would love to stay in my market, but again, the thing with, and I told the guys yesterday, like I just got a tax increase of almost $500 for the year because our board of education
Mhm.
voted on something that we didn't have, like the people living in the town had nothing to approve or disapprove, no meeting or nothing, right? Because they're went overboard $6 million that state's supposed to pay, but state only pay 200, right? So we short 6 million still.
Mhm.
That they like, okay, the taxpayer is going to cover that. And then they had a meeting afterward because so many people complain. I'm like, but the complaint is not going to change anything. You're already increased it, right? And
Mhm.
for somebody that you have a cash flow, and in my area it's nearly impossible, and add it 400, that's stays there, and every year they're going to increase your taxes.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard. So that's why I said like the Pittsburgh maybe. I mean, Gary way too far for me. Um, and I get it. You live in California, right? And you do it. So for people saying it, if it's 50 miles away from you or 5,000 miles away from you, right? Like it should be the same concept. Um,
Do you self-manage all of your properties?
yes,
Okay.
right. Yeah, because I mean, and I guess that's another benefit. How would make it easier for me to invest in my market.
Mhm.
Um, Again, I can use my employees from one company to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's money from one of my pockets going to another pocket, right? Like
Mhm.
I don't. You guys have to figure out the contractors and the pricing, and they're ripping you off. Are they doing on the time?
Mhm.
And even if you have managers, uh, I know it's not easy. Versus having your own people doing it. Even if I subcontract it, I'll send one of my guys or a girl from the office to check on it, right? So like I don't have to be there.
Right.
But it's a big benefit, I think. But also a crutch because you the control over it, right? Having control over it.
Yeah, I think that's
That,
the biggest, I guess, challenge for people that are thinking out of estate investing. They're not going to be there for every single problem, and giving up that power is like even harder than having more cash flow, you know? Like it overpowers.
so did you? Oh man, I guess did you talk to people how to get over it, or it just became natural to you? Like you made a decision. That'll be my question.
I don't feel like I'm the most intelligent person in the room, so having somebody as a professional property manager, like my property manager has like 500 properties, right?
Hmm.
So they have the system already. She has like handymans on her payroll. She has like a set hourly rate for every work already. Like
Okay.
she has
So they
only power to change everything up until $200. Then I have to say, like, she has to call me and let me know what's going on for me to go ahead and like, oh,
also she has they have an in-house people.
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that makes a difference because I know my company, and I tell you, I love and hate property management companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we deal with it, and then so the thing that I told you is like the giving out control and letting somebody else because they know it better and the processes. So like the business that I have, right? So it's a franchise, so they have systems too, but it's hard because if they screw up at the end, who's I don't want to sound jerky, I guess, but it hurts your bottom pocket, correct?
Yeah.
So they even though they're gonna do the right thing, right? They're not breaking anything. At the end of the day, it comes out of your own pocket. So that's my issue, and especially because doing so much business with property management, um, I'm I'm pretty straight shooter, right? I treat all my employees and all my customers, and I tell my employees, treat your customers if there was your family member. So don't try to rip them off, don't try to upsell or anything. But it is a business, so we have to make money. Uh, but I see a lot of property management companies, probably more in commercial than residential, that are ripping their customers off big time.
Yeah, and that's it also like the fear of being taken advantage of, but you will feel it. Like you would I feel like you need to trust your gut more. Like you would know when somebody's like, that doesn't sound right. Like, why are they charging me, $300 to change a door? Like that doesn't sound right. Let me go call and investigate. But I think a lot of people are like, oh, afraid to confrontation, afraid of like calling people off. And then maybe that's why. But I don't know. I'm like, I'm the kind of person that I'm checking like the spreadsheets all the time. And I don't feel taken advantage of.
Yeah, trust by verify
Yeah, right.
kind of thing. No. I get it. So the deal you're working on it right now, that's one in progress. And how many properties you have total?
10.
10. Jeez. Jeez. Aye.
But my
Yeah.
my are single families, small single families.
But I know that that part I remember. You were single family from your videos.
Yeah. I
And
only have
I don't
one
think
duplex.
I don't think so in the from little research that I done on Gary, I don't think duplexes will make too much sense there.
No,
Because of the pricing, correct?
right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wouldn't see like in the area where the pricing is not so off and people are not used to it, and people,
Mhm.
I guess, was the cost of renting one single family instead of in a multifamily and having a yard driveway and all that stuff, it's different. So like
Right.
my area is totally different, right? Like a single family, multifamily, 3, 4, it's normal because we are so overpopulated, I guess. So
Yeah.
everybody's used to it. Like I know, like I listened to Dion's like I want to have a separate driveways and all. I'm like, yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that area. And I know his area because my wife and her family used to live in Oregon, Portland. So we used to go out there. And then when I was there, I used to drive to the Fort Lewis, I guess, by Seattle, the military base. I used to drive through Tacoma and those areas. So I'm
Mm.
very familiar with it. But yeah, but it's a yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try maybe this year, maybe do a house hack in my area, and then when everything else settle, I guess network, and talk to you guys, and then hopefully in Pittsburgh and all that stuff, but maybe in Pennsylvania. But the thing that I'm struggling with, and like listen to you guys, right, like and talk, and I mean, asking myself too. It's like, what's the difference again, 50 miles or 500 miles? If you outsourcing, you should go where the cat either again strategy is a cash flow more important. Um,
That's your
is
question
that
for you.
right? That's the I think that'd be the most important right now, right? Because if I've been investing, I already deal with tenants, um, and all that stuff. I dealt with the property management. It's like, hey, what's your strategy? Do you want to have a cash coming in now, or you want to park somewhere, which my area is perfect for, park more money, but the investment later on, 5 years down the road, right? Appreciation is going to be so much higher.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like everybody else. It's like, hey, the questions you have to answer yourself, I guess. But
But in this community, you also learn other techniques like creative financing. Like I'm sure that right now that's something that may feel, I don't know if you ever to look at seller finance or anything like that.
No,
But
so I'm working on the deal actually right now. Um, uh, but yeah, it's it's kind of seller financing because the people who buy it, they're gonna live in there. Um, so it's again, being capable acquiring another property at a lower cost, more of the kind than cash flow. I'm not gonna see any money out of it. It's gonna be pure that I'm not getting screwed with the interest rates, like the mortgage will pay itself. The the seller will get paid, right? And I will get whatever. I think it's like at the end of the day, I'll maybe have $100 cash flow on it, maybe from 3 units, which I know for most people will be like, I would not even touch it. But again, it's a question. It's like if I park $100,000, right? And based on what my market been doing 10 years from now, it's nearly guaranteed more than doubling it. And it's nearby. I already have properties on the same street, right? What's, you know what I mean? My risk, right, like, it's low on that
yeah.
one. But it's, yeah, but I for other perspective, did you do any seller financing out of state or no? Or any of you?
Yeah. So I have 3 houses from seller finance, and they were negotiated from the same person who used to be an investor in Gary, but wants to offload his portfolio.
So he's yes. He's trying to do, I guess he's selling your note.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So and then how's that process?
Basically, you just you know, you have I did it through my realtor because my realtor is the one that brought up the deal for me. So I just pay my commission of like I think 1.5% for my realtor. I paid it out of my pocket, and then basically they draft up an agreement just like a offer, like a purchase agreement, just like that, and you take it to the title company. Title company draws up a contract with the attorney, and it's a basically a note, mortgage note, where that the person, the seller is the lender, I am the buyer, I have the property's title, and it's backed by the property, of course.
And then you do the taxes and insurance?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you said it before, recycling the money.
Right. So I
Yeah,
mean
and it's
those seller finance were like 10% down, so I had to put 10% down.
no, but
Yeah.
still, like you tell somebody that you can buy a house for, I don't know, you like 70,000, right? It's the average 80,000 average price now for your
Yeah.
houses.
Those houses were 84,000. So
Yeah,
for $8,000, yeah.
yeah. So I'm saying is like in my area, you tell people like you cannot buy a garage for it. You know what I mean? She said, but it's again um the market, right? The area. And then
Yeah.
again, the crazy part is you put that and you're gonna get a lot more cash flow than in my area, which is
Right.
I think it's opposite of what most humans' brain work like. I think that's because they're like, how is that even possible, right? Like for average person,
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, but that's it. It's that definitely cool to hear it. There are different options, and I knew about something options, but like to get it, I think you have to network. Because like I get a lot of deals in my area through people that I mean, I build a relation for a long time, and most best deals in my area never see a daylight,
Hmm.
right? And then I don't know if it's like what you said it right now. It's 3 properties from some other investors. It's like when you get to a certain point where you have so much money coming in and moving, you have to start moving it more to defer taxes to later. And like I said, it like the cash, like in my area, the cash investors, cash buyers, and it's mostly from out of country. You will be surprised how many apartments on Jersey side, but I know even in New York, you know, what I mean, we're talking about 5+ million apartments are empty,
Mm.
right? And there's new builds, and again, if you ask a regular person, it's like, oh no way, like if I had a place, I would decorate, I would live, I'll party. You know what I mean? Like everybody says, if I had the money, I would do that. But the people with money, they see it differently, right? It's like, hey, I sell, I gotta pay taxes, or I park it and I defer it, and then 1031 or sell finance note, and you're just moving at
Yeah.
that point. It's like you have to get to know those people or get to know the people that know them, I think.
Hmm.
Which yeah, that's cool, man. But hey, nice to finally meet you both. Pleasure.
Nice to
It's
meet you.
talking to YouTubers.
Yeah, it was great meeting you also. It's but like I said, I edit these videos afterwards a little bit, just flipping out dead spots mostly, and it's great to actually be able to talk to you for once instead of just hearing you afterwards.
You've been
Appreciate it.
MIA, Jack. What have you been doing? Sleeping?
No, so man, you don't even want to know. It's I tell you, I'm such an easygoing person, and again in life, I'm a very I love helping people, which I learned a long time ago. Not always, but sometimes hurt you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's in the design way. It's just how the life works. So like I told Jack earlier, I don't know if you heard it. So I supposed to be weekend, like I have two sons. Uh, one's gonna be 10 this month and a 13-year-old. And for summers they go to Europe with my family. So this year there's a lot of going on with my brother and all that stuff. So I supposed to, as soon as the school started, is it finished? I supposed to fly out with them and then drop him off in Poland. That's where I'm originally from, and then fly back.
Hmm.
But then a day before I supposed to fly out, um, military called me. Hey, we need you following week to go do certain things for 4 days. So I was like, oh my God. It's like, I mean, less than 24 hours. And I get it. Like in US, it's very lenient when you're military or veterans. When you call these companies, they move it, no fees, no all that stuff. I'm like I had everything planned. Now I gotta tell my family, the kids, we're not flying, all that stuff, a week. So because I stay another week, another friend of mine from the construction industry is like, hey, I'm doing this big project. The guy screwed me over. Can you help me out with these doors and all that stuff? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. We got you. Yeah, we don't got you. So like today because I forgot tomorrow is 4th of July. I'm running around trying to get materials so I can build the custom doors. Um, yeah, and not getting any luck. So like when I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my God, I missed it. But you were guys still on it. So it's again trying to help out people. Now I'm not gonna have a weekend because I'm gonna have to build custom doors. Because again, employees have off and owners work, I guess. But
I got a
yeah,
stupid
it's like
question. You're talking about custom doors. I have to this one guy that helps me out from time to time. He's in one of my units, but I need to cut custom doors for I got their bedroom done, and we use one of those guides where you plop
chop
the
saw,
circ what's that?
circular saw, yeah,
Yeah,
circular saw.
you plug it in there and it's you set it and then it goes. And it didn't do a very good job. Like it was almost like quarter of an inch out by the time you're at the end of the table or the
Did you
door.
use clamps on it?
Yeah. It wasn't a clamp one. It was one where it guides off based on the edge.
Oh, from the
So,
edge? No, no, yeah. Those
but
those two tend to
that's what
do
it
one
did
of these.
on us. So
Yeah,
we
so
got
like
that.
unless you have well, unless you have the long jigsaw, sorry, long jigsaw, I would
Yeah.
just use a 2x4 or something else as a guide.
I was thinking about doing that, or I was even thinking too. I'm thinking about hitting my table saw. I got a table saw, with the bar on it.
Uh-huh.
And the bar isn't that good. That's why I didn't take it initially over there. But I'm thinking about just using the bar and just clamping it down so it can't move and just force it up against
Yeah.
that clamp and then run the
Yeah, but
table across it.
yeah,
So they,
I'd say if you have a long level, like the 84 inch it, that would
Yeah,
work on your regular door. But like I tell people, 2x4 or anything, and just clamp
yeah,
it. Yeah, because it's those. I know what you're talking about. Those are too flimsy for something like that.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I ended up having like a bow in the middle of the door, and yeah, I wasn't happy at all about it. It turned an easy project that I should have been able to bang out with my buddy who lives there in like 3 hours into like a. It took us. We started at I think it was like 7 o'clock as he put his son down because he sleeps through anything. We started at 7 o'clock and we weren't done with the first door until about 2 a.m.
no, no, but
Uh,
yeah, no, it's. Mm-mm. I no, but like I said, use something else as a guide, full guide, and make
yeah,
sure you clamp it properly. Because the table saw what you're saying now, you will have to use the side that you didn't cut into it, and I don't think you have extension on your table saw to go that far to guide it to cut off the other piece.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be too. Yeah, I mean, most doors will be too wide for the table saw, unless you have it set it up for that.
I um I usually just borrow my one buddy's thing because he has a cabinet shop, and I just run over there and I just tell him well, I call him ahead of time because he has three table saws.
Oh,
One's
so
just
he's set up
massively,
for it.
yeah, the one's just massively huge, and he doesn't need what you're talking about. And I just say, hey, are you going to use this one? And he usually is like, yay or nay. And I was like, okay, well, I'm still in the side piece to it.
Yeah. Hey, good to have friends like that. I'll tell you.
Well, it's getting harder because he's out in Philadelphia now.
Yeah, that's a hike.
Well, he left a lot of his stuff here in the area, but his like where he has his stuff, they're getting weird and stuff. So I don't like asking him as much as I used to because it's almost like I have to plan because he stores his stuff at his dad's house in the garage. And it's almost like I have to like strategically go there when his dad's not there. Otherwise, I get asked a million questions. I get stuck there for 2 hours, and it's like, dude, I could have been halfway done with this door already.
You probably could buy a new door in that time.
Well, and that's the thing that gets me is just that they're weird sizes. So it's like I have to make the door. Yeah,
Yeah, and then I'll tell you if you ever buy new doors that are not solid inside, you only have so much you can trim off the
yeah.
edges before
Well,
they fall apart. Which
that's why I bought solid doors with just no frou-frous on it, so you couldn't tell where I cut or how I cut or anything.
yeah, that's smart.
That's about the only smart thing I've done in a while.
Nah, I'm pretty. Hey, give yourself a credit. You probably done more than that.
Well, I got a shower today. We'll go with that.
And how many properties do you have?
I got four right now, 8 units.
8 units. So all double. You double, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's up and down, right? Pittsburgh is up and down.
The one, I'm not sure if you're here, but the one with the sewer problems was up and down. Actually, that's my only up and down. All the other ones are side by side.
Side by side.
Yeah.
So I'm trying. I haven't. I've been in Pittsburgh in mid 2000s, I think.
I want to say up down is probably more common, but yeah, honestly, it wasn't like it was on my buy box or like something I look at. It's just coincidental that everything else is side by side.
Hey, so question, I guess, Mickey too, maybe for you guys. So because you've been doing it for so long, are you still religiously daily go over your buy box in your market or no?
It's the first thing I do when I wake up. I check it
Same.
every day.
Okay.
Same, but we're newbies, so maybe that's the that's the reason.
I'm kind of slacking off, honestly, because it's like I got so many projects going on right now that I kind of only look at it every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
Because
because
I just want to kind of keep my skills sharp, but I don't really want to buy anything right now.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not
So
looking to
yeah,
buy anything either.
I,
Which
I'm
ones
kind
do
of
you
afraid of a. Sorry, go ahead, Mikey.
Which, oh, sorry. Which ones do you guys like? Redfin, Realtor, Zillow?
I'm a Raffin girly.
Redfin, yeah, me too. Because you can add notes in Redfin. That's why I like Redfin.
Oh, I didn't know you could do
So,
notes.
It's like
so
once you
fi-
create a folder, then I think that's where you can. Before you could add it just off the listing itself, but I
Yeah.
think now you got to make a folder, and then in the folder you can add notes in the listing itself.
so
I've
I have a
been
follow up to that one. How many of you have a spreadsheet to track that?
Oh no.
I got a spreadsheet.
You have a
I use
spreadsheet?
I use Notion, but my notes are so crazy. It's so all over the place.
Because um I'm trying to remember who. I think Mickey, you were on that phone call last Wednesday where Steve from Florida, from Jacksonville, shared the props for the Chat GPT. Were you on
Yes,
it?
I use that. So based off of that, I bought the subscription, and then I created a project. And then now I've been trying to practice where you can put the Redfin listing into that Chat GPT, and it'll run your cash on cash based off of the settings and the numbers you have. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like you have these, and again, I don't know what you guys would do for the living, right? But you have these geeks that all about spreadsheets and numbers and all that stuff. And then you have some people's like, yeah, it looks good, let's go and do it, right? Um, and I guess whatever works for the person. Uh, but like I've been looking for, I don't know, 20 years in my area, right? And even if when I didn't live here in New Jersey, I lived in other states, I still track it. I never created spreadsheet, right? Um, my memory was a little bit better back then, not as much. But like I can looking at the price, the property type, I can tell you if it's decent deal or it's don't even look at it, right? Not worth checking. Which now it's changes because of what everybody's been saying, um, disrespectful offers and all that stuff. Which I don't know if I guess it's going to be area specific, right? Because I don't think every market's going to be like, yeah, the price is going to be that much different.
I think in some markets it's just going to be more inventory, not so much a price drop or more days on market.
Yeah, because I seen it in my market from what I seen when this been coming, they just pull them off the market and that's it. They don't sell it. They're not dropping prices like certain places people would say. But again, if you have to sell it, you have to sell it. But I don't know. I think it will be market specific. But I think that the spreadsheet would be unofficial. But like um, I don't. So I know Mickey was, but Lindsay, I don't think you were on that call. But yeah, so Steve, he's a newer member too from Jacksonville. So he was showing us if you can watch a replay of it or something. He was showing how he's using ChatGPT, the paid version, and he built prompts to it. So like the stuff that we talked in all the calls and all the
Mhm.
people in their interviews talk about a buy box and how to review your stuff using ChatGPT as the prompt to do all that stuff from you by just copying a listing from one of the websites,
Mhm.
and the ChatGPT spits it out, and then you can create a spreadsheet into it. So instead of like, I don't know how you guys do it, if you open, you search actual properties, like you have different searches step in, you can every property can be done within seconds and put it in your spreadsheets, and you just go over your spreadsheet. And if something like, I think Mickey, correct me if I'm wrong, he had like an underline, and something was good deal was or great deal was green, and the orange and the red didn't meet his qualification. And then so you can spend actual time reviewing the stuff that actually makes sense than spending time or wasting time on the stuff that from the surface looks good, but once you start doing basic research, it's the time wasted.
Mhm. I
So
think
you
for my market it's like so I think for like Pennsylvania, like the houses are pretty uniform. It's rare that you find like LA, you find a fixer upper that has a lot of opportunity to add value, but my market is like really street by street. There you go. So even if you were like have a buy box of like I have zip codes that I like, but in that zip code, there's also areas that I wouldn't even look at houses, right? So that's my challenge. But my market also, it's like 100K people, so inventory is not that high. Like I know every single property that comes in, it's not more than like three or four every day, you know? So it's not
Okay,
like
the new
that much.
ones. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that
Yeah,
time
so
consuming to take
maybe
over.
yeah, so maybe it's over complicating it if you think
Mhm.
about it like you have to review every property all the time
Mhm.
once you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like
you can
that's what.
definitely get advanced into all the spreadsheets. I try to keep it as simple as possible, or else I'm just gonna get lost again.
Yeah,
I don't know. For me, it's like I don't want to Chesterify it where it's like you need a spreadsheet for your spreadsheets, but
Yeah.
I don't want to ever be as laid back as Mark, where it's just like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I'll offer this. Maybe I should crunch the numbers now.
yeah, but again, it's
Financial firefighter?
Yeah.
Oh no. I still run the numbers.
I try to talk with him, but he does not. I don't know. He does not dig into it as much as I am. But it's good because he sees stuff I don't see. So it's a good kind of combo.
balance. But it's what we talked earlier, or you guys talk. It's like it's your strategy, and no two people are gonna be the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like I said, I know like again, people in my area with the money, they'll buy it just to buy it. Again, park their money. Right? I don't need it today. I don't need it next year. So let's let it sit. And then somebody needs it for cash flow. You know what I mean? I don't. It's hard. But
Do, do you use the CDS app, the CDS rental calculator app?
I
No.
don't.
That's the one Dion recommends, and that's the one I use just for it's free and it's just a quick way to run numbers to get cash on cash.
CVS calculator?
Yeah, it's the Chandler David Smith, but
Oh,
when I
I thought
try
you
to
meant the pharmacy.
oh yeah, it's CDS, and
Oh,
when you
CDS.
Oh,
yeah yeah Jack, you use that, right?
No.
Oh, well, just in Dion's meetings, he uses that app and he recommends it to everybody, just saying that's what he uses for just quick calculations for cash on cash.
I actually I'm lazy for quick stuff. I usually just use the Microsoft Copilot AI thing, and I just since I know the areas that I invest in well enough, I can tell. Yeah, it's like, hey, the taxes are this, the water sewage is this, blah 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 blah. Here's the asking price. Here's what it should rent for. Calculate the yield for me.
Yeah.
And like it's not perfect, but it's usually close enough to know if I want to look at it further or not.
I had a question about systems and processes. So when you're first starting out and you're revising your systems and processes, and like you bring in a new property in your portfolio,
Mhm.
do you think that new property has its own system and process? Or when does it get to the point where your systems and processes have become so revised that you bring in a new property and it's able just to, you don't have to, or is that too crazy sounding? It's like,
Well, no, Curtis
is
had a
it,
similar question about, so I actually had a few days to think about this. So since where we are at, Mikey, it's an older town and stuff. And I mean, Curtis reworded the question a little differently, but I'll give you the same answer. I think because our properties are so much older that like we have to put back more money for the repairs and stuff. But it's like once you get through like all the headache problems of the first like 2 to 3 years, and it's now going, we can step down to like a normal, percentage of what we put back, and that's where I feel like we should have like kind of like an overall like portfolio, like you're saying. What were we saying again? I'm sorry.
oh no, because it's like, each property has its own unique characteristics.
Yeah, so like have like an overall like portfolio overview, like basically like your whole portfolio is like an economic thing, and then each one has its own individual like thing. Because it's like I don't know, it's like trying to have all of them together, you know, they get you to the overall goal, but each one has its own personalities and its own discrepancies of its own because they're
Yeah.
just old. It's hard to almost categorize them all together, especially when you could be like a few streets over and like the economics aren't exactly the same, and it's just like, oh well, over here, you have Class A moving into a Class B neighborhood for some reason, but they won't do it like three streets over for some reason. And you're getting a lot more calls about stupid stuff that just it's like this isn't. It's like I'm not here to have a honey-do list.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
like when you
almost like
factor
you
in the
need.
time. Go ahead, Mikey.
Oh, sorry. It's almost like you need two systems and processes. It's one for the general, and then one for each property.
Well, see, so what I actually do is I actually record on a spreadsheet how much time, and it's just ballparked, that I spend on each property, and I call that the PIA factor, the pain in the ass factor. Because eventually, what my overall goal is, I want to get the properties after we're done with financial independence, and we're cruising our way to financial freedom, and beyond that, these ones that have the higher PIA factor, they're gone. I'm not dealing with them. But at the same time, I'm also going to have to factor in somehow, for example, like the one I was talking about earlier with the sewage problems. Okay, so it has all new sewage lines, all new wiring, all new roofs, three-tier retaining wall. And it's like at that point, what else can really go wrong? Like not really a whole lot. So it's just
Philos.
And that's where it's getting kind of wild. It's like you have all the properties, and you're keeping track of water heater ages and all the different mechanics and the ages of those. Then, if you're bringing in a new property, you gotta add all that in, and
well,
it's just trying
so
to.
what I do is when I go through and I do what Lumberjack was talking about, and I just do it in the Word document. I have pictures of each wall. And in there I have the age of the furnace if I can find it, and I just keep track of everything in that Microsoft Word document. Have a good Fourth, Lindsay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, so I'll keep track of all that stuff. But like I say them as individual properties. I don't do like the whole portfolio of one document because it would just be so massively huge. Like one property is almost 20 pages for the notes that I take on it.
Yeah. Yeah, even me, because I'll have a Google Doc for the property where I have all the emails that we've been doing with like your lender and your insurance and any type of thing related to the property. And then you also have to think about adding the calendars for the leases the 2 months before the leases renew, and doing the binder on each of those and all the mechanics and all the ages and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Jack, do you said it, the lumberjack? That's the stuff you learned from his course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in just the regular course, not the boot camp.
Okay. Yeah, because it's again how like the way I see it, right, Mickey? The thing with the properties, it's how much effort you want to put into it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I used to put a lot less effort in the past till I got flooded when the valve on their kitchen sink burst and both tenants were away on vacation. And when they came back, we had a indoor pool in the basement.
Oh, man.
Right, and then you know, I mean, that's the one time I used the insurance on it and all that stuff. I did renovations myself because then I not only replaced it, but I upgraded both places.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it's how much time you're gonna put it now. Like Jack said, it's like the pain in the ass, right? I want to lower that. The more time you put up front, the more time you're gonna save at the end. That's that's
Yes.
that's me, right? Like everybody's gonna do it differently. But
Mhm.
when I left in the front, I paid in the back. Now everything that I do it, and it's stupid because every valve, every light bulb, like everything you track it, and you can automate it, right? The reminders and all, thanks to technology. Uh, but now something goes wrong, it's I mean, 5 minutes I already know, or I
Mhm.
can prevent it from happening. Um, like I had was it 2 months ago, one of the property water heater leaked, right? Again, luckily we caught it before if did more damage with flooding, right? I'm just renting apartment right now. I've been leasing, so I gotta sign a lease probably this weekend on it. First thing I did when the tenants moved out, I put a tankless water heater. Right, I took the old tank, put a tankless, and I'm like, the other tank's gonna go out in next 2 years, right? Might be 5 years, but warranty's 2 years, and I know how warranties work, and I don't want to have a headache. Right? It's an extra expense, but again, the work up front is gonna save me money, time, and headache in the future. That's how I see it. But again, I don't not worry about the money right now, cash back, right? But I want to have peace of mind. Put it that way.
Yeah, I agree because if you can get things situated, then and you do that up front, you can have all this extra headspace, more power just to go after what's the biggest bang for your buck in time usage.
Mm-hmm. You invest in Pittsburgh, Mickey?
Yeah, I'm new. I 2 years in, have four properties, six tenants.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. But and did you do a lot of renovation or just small stuff or
The f
moving turnkey?
the first one was turnkey, but that's the one I made all the mistakes on, and I'm still paying for it to this day. The rest is more light rehab, and I've just been trying to stick with that model just because I'm not really ready, I think, to do major rehab. And I just kind of like maybe the light rehab stuff and just sticking with that for now.
Right. So if I can ask you, so are you calculating the extra costs on the beginning into your calculation, or is it just like, no, this is how I calculate it against everything else? I just rather spend extra $10,000 to sleep well at night because of my first property.
Oh, yeah, for the calculations, I will put what Dion calls the make ready costs. So I'll add that upfront into the numbers.
Okay.
And then in the CDS rental calculator, they have a make ready cost section that you can add.
And I because I wasn't sure, like, because like the property that I told you that I'm looking to seller financing, I was talking earlier, pretty much, again, no cash flow in the future when the people die or move out, right? Then because the cash flow, it's a three-family cash flow will be on a third unit that the people going to be living in it, right? Uh, so the deal would be like I take care of it, I take care of the property. I have the two other tenants pay everything, expenses, maintenance, all that stuff. Less if everything goes perfectly, $100 in cash flow, right? But I have a one unit that's three bedrooms, two bath, that I cannot calculate in it, right? But the way I see it from what Dion was saying it, and then everybody else, it's opposite. Like, hey, if I have $100,000, where am I going to put it, right? Biggest return for less headache. For me, it's like, okay, if I park it there, it's already next door to my other properties. right? The cost of maintenance costs me nothing because I have employees on payroll already, right? So it's like if something goes wrong, cost of materials it's wholesale, right? So I'm discounted. And the way I see it, I will, as the tenants move out in that place, if I get it, I would do each apartment, electrical, all that stuff. So I will add money to it. The return will be whenever the people die or move out somewhere else, right? The income coming up from the apartment, which that apartment right now, if they stayed in there, we're talking about close to $3,000.
In cash flow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but it's again, um, I know one person that did deals similar to mine, and the lady lived to like 96. Right, right, because you don't put a timeline on it.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, I'll get it from you and I pay you 10 years, 20 years, or if I want to cash refinance and whatever, pay you down, then you got to move out. It's kind of like you stay on the property, or you either move out somewhere to your family, right? Then I'll pay you out whatever the agreement is, right? Or if not, you live there till you die. Again, 70s. Um, my calculation is if it's 30 years, right? You putting them in the 90s. I wish everybody to live forever, but we know that's not reality. But I wouldn't be surprised if they live to 100, right? So now it's like, okay, 40. But again, to me, it's parking money where I can get cash out of it, the property later on, right? Because it's not like if I refinance it, whatever, right? I can get money out of it, and the appreciation's high in my area. What I mean, historically always been. So for me, it makes sense personally, right? Like I would love to get that, but as
Especially if
investment,
yeah,
mhm.
especially if you have all those advantages with your team and you have more control and it's right next by where you're living. If
Yeah, but
the
that's the only thing that keeps me. Like if from investment point of view, right? It makes no sense if you look at cash on cash or cash flow returns, right?
what
But
what is the
personally,
average in your market?
the house prices
Or for cash on cash, what is the average cash on cash in your market?
at my market, there's no cash on cash.
Oh, so it's like maybe zero cash on cash is like the average for the
Negative.
investor?
Will be
Oh,
negative
negative, negative. Okay. If
right
you
now. So
could
like
get
most of the people that invest, it's usually you have two family. The owners move in, right, and they rent out one place. That helps out covering the taxes part of it. That's how people can get in it. So I guess the house hacking kind of thing. But investors usually they buy it and then knock it out, build new, and they rent it out, right? But it's parking money, right? Like for pure
yeah.
investors, I don't think in my county you can make it work. I don't know one person. Maybe there are some people, but again, it's you putting cash on it, and your cash can, as you probably know, can work a lot better somewhere else, right?
Could
For,
you
for
could you primary it and then live in so then that lady would have to unfortunately she would have to leave?
no, so for that house that I'm talking about,
Yeah.
no. So the deal is it's a three family. The one apartment they live in it, they stay the owners.
Oh,
The
I
the
see.
two
I
the,
see.
the two other apartments I can do whatever. House would be under my name, but part of the contract will be staying in it. But it's again, I know it for the simple reason I know somebody that done it in the past, um, and it worked. But again, I know two people that did it. One, the late like they did it when the lady I'm thinking 2002, and the lady lived for a long time. I tell you that much.
Oh.
But again, the guy bought it. It was he had a commercial space. He had a laundromat. He had a couple other houses. The way the lot was designed, the driver from the property that he acquired from the lady, uh, he used it for something else, right? So like he had a lot benefits from it, but it was like for him was parking cash. And again, he bought it at the time for two something, and that house right now on the market, I think it's like 650. Small, I mean, single family, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's when people have asked me how it is out of state, Jack, he's crushing me because for him being in state and just being able to run everything through him, like his returns are double digits, like 10 to 15% cash on cash. And for me, I'm okay with 7 to 8 starting out,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I can see in a year, maybe the tenants are under market and I can get them up in a year. That'll maybe jump it from 8 to 9. But I just like the idea of being in your own backyard, being able to have control of things. And that's why we talk about it's like so personal because it's like how it fits your timeline and what your what does your timeline look like? What does your end goal looks like? And you try to look at the property and see how that matches your end goal and if it even aligns with your end goal.
Yeah, but I think it's the defining the end goal. It's extremely hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you, I'm 38, right? Migrated, no language, no nothing, right? And when I started my first business, and even the real estate investment in 2002, I know people don't like to compare themselves to other people, but we do. That's how you
Yeah.
know, right? Like
Yep.
I always tell people, compare yourself to yourself from yesterday, but that's easier said than done. So you have to have someone, right? Like, and I like from military perspective, right? Like he ran 15-minute 2 miles, right? I ran 14:45, right? Next month he ran better. He improved 30 seconds. I only improved 15 seconds, but we running the same time, right? But his improvement was 100% better than mine. So again, the mindset's comparing ourselves to other people. But I think throughout their life, as you age, as your situation changes, marriages, divorces, kids, no kids, moving, family, and all that stuff, it changes, right? Like my goal was like, okay, I'll work, I get a good job, I have a healthy family, I get a house, I'm ahead, right? I'm good. But I was always hungry for more. But I'm 2 years from retiring, right? So at 40 years from the to be able to retire and have full medical for the rest of my life and for the kids, right?
Wow.
And from other investments, even where I live, I'm not gonna have to work, right? But then what you do,
Yeah, you have to have
right?
purpose.
Yeah, and again, and I seen it because I seen videos from Dion and all that stuff. Uh, even Michael, right? Like how depressed you become,
Yeah.
right? And I say to my kids, like we travel every quarter, we travel somewhere, right? Because I know it. I know we all males. I don't care what your background, what your religious color is, right? Where you from? When you're a guy, even when you're a girl, when you get to 14, 15, you can care less about your parents. That's it. That's the reality, right? And people say, no, not my kids. Everybody's kids. I'm sorry to tell you. They don't want to even see you, right? Like give me $20, drop me off somewhere. And and again, and I'm getting to that age, right? Like where my kids are is like was everything about the kids, and I'm seeing now. And again, my younger one follows so close my older one. uh it's scary, right? And then I'm like, then what you do, right? So it is a mindset where you are in life. It changes. For some people, it doesn't change, but a lot. I think for most people, it changes. And then, like you said, it's so personal. Deciding you happy with 17. Jack might said right now, I'm not even looking because I won't take anything under 15%, right?
Hmm.
Because it makes no sense for me. Because like for you, Mikey, you not dealing with the headache, right? Because you have property management. So they pre-screening a lot of BS that comes your way, or hopefully they do,
Hmm.
right? For Jack, if he sells manages, he's getting hit with everything. Am I right, Jack?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and honestly, I use TurboTenant, and I don't like the fact that they send their own pre-screener and won't let me upload mine. But at the same time, it's like I do appreciate their pre-screener because it filters out a lot of people in the sense that like this vacant unit I have now. There's one person that they said that their monthly income was like 1,400 or like 1,100 or something. Well, the I'm asking 900 in rent. Like, how are you gonna be able to afford that? You tell me you're gonna live on $200 a month?
Yeah. No, no, hey. I had I tell you, I had one of my rentals a few years back. I let it sit for over a year. And I tell you, I heard it from my wife, I heard it from everybody. But I was like, at that time where I was, and then that place rented for $2,700 a month. But I did not want to hear nothing from the tenant. Like at that
Yeah.
point, I was like, I don't even care what it costs me. My living expenses are paid for, right? The mortgage is paid for. It doesn't cost me more. I'm just losing the income coming. I did not care. And it, I mean, 2,700, that's a lot of money. You ask me today, it's like I'll deal with that problem. But at the time, I didn't even care. And it's crazy, right? But again, systems now have systems. Your light bulb goes off. That's not my emergency, right? Like setting up expectation with the tenants. I think that's the most important, especially now that like I mean, I self manage it because for most people, like, what's emergency for Jack or you, Mickey, and for me, you're gonna get three different answers.
Yeah.
But when you tell you what's emergency for you, it's like Dion, I think, said it one of his videos, right? Like unless it's blood, fire, water, and then you call 911, don't call me. But if you personal with the tenants, it's hard to say no, right?
That's why, honestly, I keep my at everyone at an arm's length, and because it's like the further you keep them. I know this sounds horrible in some ways, and I learned this from being in leadership. It's easier for me to do my job if everyone hates me.
Agree, agree, 1,000%, Jack. Right, and then not in a bad way, but it's
Yeah,
because their problems become your problems. By your problems, they don't care.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's it. I see it in my company too with employees. I try to help them, educate them and all that stuff. And it's for certain people's it just the way it is, right? Like, and I have a saying in my company. We have a definition of the team, right? Um, and the definition goes, "You do your job, so I don't have to do yours jobs." Right? That's a team. We're here to help each other. But if I have to do your job, you're not part of the team.
yeah.
But yeah, but it's not everybody, but
And
definitely different
yeah, and
experiences for me guys.
and even Mark, he does it differently where he does a hybrid approach. He self-manages some, then he leaves others to property management. So it's interesting how other investors they just do it their own way.
Yeah, but I guess it what works for them. Depend. I would say depends on the tenants, the relationship with the contractors or handymans.
Yeah.
I don't know if it seems like you, Jack, and there's another person, right, in your area that a lot of people rely on.
There's you're talking about investor?
Yeah, but like other investors that rely on somebody that's invested in your area. It was you and there was another guy, I think, that a lot of people have been mentioning it.
Uh,
If I remember.
they usually talk about Mark.
No, Mark. So Mark, the firefighter, right?
Yeah,
No, but somebody local to the area.
Jeremy?
Is it Jeremy? He's a real estate agent too.
Yeah.
Jeremy's the
Yeah,
agent. Yeah.
yeah. So I think him. So it seems like a lot of people rely on having you as an extension, like a boots on the grounds for them to a
Hmm.
certain extent, right? Which you know, what I mean, positive, negative. If you want to do it, you don't want to do it, right? It's just how much of yourself you give to those people, right? I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience trying to manage the manager. I had to figure that out and I'm still trying to learn learn how to do that in the most optimal way, but I'm still making mistakes.
And where out of you and Mickey?
I'm Hawaii. Me and Mark, we went to that Hawaii real estate event, and then
Uh-huh.
Zuber he spoke at.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's how I got into Pittsburgh is through Mark because I saw his channel. I reached out, then he got me connected with his resources, and then that's how we met Jack because part of one rental at a time, and now I'm going to be seeing
It's
him for the first time in person in September. So excited for that.
You would have met me in February if you weren't trying to be all healthy and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm
oh,
not cycling.
Vegas.
I'm not cycling before in August, that's for sure.
You guys talking about Vegas event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a, hey, it's not it's Vegas is far away from Hawaii.
What was it? 5 hours, 6 hours? It was funny for the Pittsburgh flight. I was looking up all these different airlines and I decided to do Southwest going there. And then I'm coming back on United because they had a way later flight that stops over in Denver, but for Southwest, it stops over in Vegas. Then I go from Vegas to Pittsburgh, and coming back, I go from Pittsburgh to Denver to Hawaii.
Okay. So you're gonna have a sub in California somewhere. That's
Yeah.
different. Yeah, I had a stops to fly to Oregon or Washington through Texas or through Georgia, which I was like, that's that doesn't make sense to me, but eh, it's I tell you, figure out how airlines work, how you can get a cheaper flight connecting, right? That means you're on the two flights and you can flight opposite direction, half a distance to flight opposite direction to your destination, and it's cheaper than straight flight. I don't get it.
Well, that
That's
was
crazy.
the one flight when I was going out to Vegas. The cheapest one was to go from Pittsburgh to JFK and then to Vegas. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I don't care if it's cheaper. I'm not flying 2 hours backwards to go across the country.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. So like when I was in active duty military, right? I was stationed one time in North Carolina, which was I want to say halfway distance between where I need to go in New Jersey and Georgia. And I had a flight, flew out of North Carolina to Georgia in the winter, got canceled because of snowstorm in New York, right? And that was like the same distance out of it. So now I couldn't even get a car to drive it because I just doubled my distance. And I was like, how does that make sense? But that's airlines to you. I guess Atlanta's bigger than Charlotte, whatever I was flying out. But yeah, it makes no sense. But I flew a lot. Vegas, yeah. I had it where, what was the weirdest? But I flew somewhere south from JFK to fly to Vegas. And then usually like JFK has like the most connecting flights to Las Vegas. But like, crazy.
A lot of
But
people say they don't recommend O'Hare. I don't know if you ever flew into Chicago before, but I purposefully skipped any O'Hare flight stopping over.
me,
Yeah.
so I fly a lot, but a lot less than I used to. So like years before, because I'm Polish, biggest Polish community is in Chicago, still in the world. Have family there and all that stuff, a lot of friends. But the last time I flew for military to Wisconsin, I had to switch over. My plane got hit at the O'Hare, so I got stuck there for two days.
Oh,
So my last experience with that airport, not pleasant, but I don't mind it. 2 days, that's whatever.
mm,
I say
wow.
outside of my control, I don't. I'm the person's can prevent it, right? Can fix it. I just go with the flow. If
Yeah,
they
I just gotta
cancel my
roll with
flight,
it. Yeah.
yeah. That the last worst one I had we flew to Greece in April or May with my kids. It's the wife's day. Was me and the boys. We flew out there. We were there for a week and a half. Go to the airport 4 a.m. Wait till 7 to our flight. No flight delayed. Delayed again. Then they delay it till after midnight. And I'm like, I never heard planes leaving after midnight. I was like, no, 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 it's gonna fly out 2 a.m. I'm like, I don't believe so. So they cancel. They tell me they have no plane for 3 of us till next week, like 7 days later,
Oh,
right? So I'm like, oh crap. So I met this doctor lady from New York City and another guy. She got it because she was one person. She paid extra $500, flew out next day. The other guy had to pay $1,000, so he's like, "No, I'm staying." He's very chill, so he didn't care. I had to fly to Macedonia, then from Macedonia to Ireland, then from Ireland to New Jersey. So
oh man.
again, I was happy. 2 extra days in Ireland. I'm not complaining. Sucks that you got to pay out of your pocket for all that stuff, and it's not cheap to fly with 2 kids last minute. But just go through it. But yeah, I don't mind it. But it seems, I don't know if you guys' area too. After COVID, it seems like a lot of stuff changed big time, and how businesses are run and all that stuff. And even though everybody complains it, if everybody did what they supposed to, stuff wouldn't be happening. But I don't know. Easier to complain and blame others than try to fix it yourself, right?
Yeah, that's what I like about this group is a lot of people are glass half full and optimistic. So especially because investing is hard, man, and it's good just to be around this group because they're just rooting you on, and if you have a problem, they'll try to diagnose it and fix it. But there's never anyone really trying to get on you, like, hey, why'd you do that? Or they just no real negative people in this group. So that's what I like.
You talking about as a community as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole,
Yeah.
yeah, Jack, pretty much.
So if you don't mind, what do you guys do on your for work? Are you guys W-2s or?
I do, I'm a machine operator for a pharmaceutical company. We do the syringes that they put the dyes and stuff into before you go to a MRI or CT scan. So I'll r run any number of machines that do basically that or do the packaging and put them in and all the components and stuff. That's my W-2. And then I decided to go ahead and bring back, and I'm working on building a network or a a network in it, but the lawn care company and the handyman business.
And you would run it, or you will be hiring employees for it?
I I'm the one that goes out and does everything.
Okay. Yeah, that's a quick way to make a buck for sure.
I'm trying to do it in order to get it built up enough where I can hire someone in and then just have then the business more or less just take care of all the calls for the properties and stuff.
Also, you double, yeah, double
Yeah.
dipping. That's good.
And then I do water treatment for hospital labs over here in Hawaii.
That's it. Is that a private sector or is it federal?
A private.
Okay.
And then it's mostly reverse osmosis deionized water.
Okay. Know a
I
little bit
wish
about it, having saltwater
I
fish tank.
oh yeah. Yeah, so you
Oh,
know the softener and all that. Yeah,
bro, don't get me started. It's thousands of dollars. Oh, I don't know.
yeah. Ultraviolet lights.
Dude, I, I, that's another story. When I was my luck being in Greece, my dad went check on it on my house since I was away. He's like, he calls me. Right, I don't even know what time was it, but like, it was way off, right? Because the 6 hour, 7 hour difference, whatever. Calls me, he's like, "Hey, should I be adding water to your fish tank?" Because my wife doesn't like. He's like, "It's yours. I'm not touching it. Whatever." Right? I have sensors, automatic fillers, and like top of the line you could think of, right? For a saltwater tank, custom built because I own the glass company, so custom built, frameless tank, and all that stuff. And I'm like, out of water. I'm like, I go on my app, check like water levels, everything, right? I'm like, everything's perfect. He sends me a picture. Half of the water in the tank is missing. And Yeah.
It evaporated.
No, not in
Oh,
not in the 24 hours. I
wow.
and I still didn't figure it out. I called the companies. I was like, "What happened with the sensors and all that?" If you know anything about saltwater fish and coral reefs, tanks, yeah. So they moved it. My brother came over, helped move it, the fish, tried to put it somewhere else to figure out with the tank when I come back. Everything survived when I came back, but I think the shock was putting them back in the tank, and it wasn't. Yeah, not pleasant flushing a couple $100 fish down the toilet every day.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
So hey, yeah. So I know about filtrations and all that stuff, but not cool, man. Not cool. Cool when somebody else does it.
Well, I think I'm going to
Um.
have to hop off.
Yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate it, guys.
thanks.
Stick
Yeah,
around, and then
Y-
nice to know you. And then
yeah,
reach out, Jack. Reach out to me if you need anything. I'll ask the people. Like I said, if you're looking for the room and all that stuff, I can definitely ask around, like the VFW, American Legions, because I don't know what was your plan where you guys want to hang out, but it's I don't know there, but they usually have alcohol and they usually have some food, right? Quiet place to for the group to hang around.
yeah.
But we're
Yeah,
not
there's
gonna
one
spend.
thing I was going to check on. Well, there's two places I want to check on that are close to it, but I don't have, I don't know what to really expect in the phone call, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, because I mean, few phone calls, I'll find out.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Hey,
All
pleasure
right
meeting
then.
you guys, you and Mickey. Have a 4th of July, and I'll see you next week, I guess.
You too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.